I happen to be someone who manifests very, very easily. Hey superstar, I'm Latoya Cooper, your brand strategist, elevating women entrepreneurs into iconic powerhouses that drive big profits. We're out walking this morning. It is beautiful here in Oakland and I got a lot to say, so buckle up. I happen to be someone who manifests very, very easily to the point where I have to be cautious and aware of what I say because what comes out of my mouth literally happens and can happen very quickly in a matter of minutes, a matter of seconds, a matter of days, a matter of hours. One thing that I realized over time is that the things that I really wanted was the hardest for me to manifest, but the things I didn't care much about would just happen very quickly. And I could not understand this. What I realized, which is often what people say, is that detachment is the key. And that is true. Detachment helps us open up the energetic space. And this is important. Why is this important? Because if you have the ability to manifest very quickly, you also have the ability to block just as quickly because your power, your energy is very, very strong. I had this breakthrough as well. That's why the things you really, really want, the things that I really, really want, was not coming in because I was blocking them energetically because I was holding on to them and I was not detaching from them. I had to learn how to detach. People talk about detaching, but no one tells us how to master that. And I'm going to share with you how I personally have mastered that, or I'm going to say practicing to master that in my life in a way that actually works. The way that I view God, I was still struggling with what that actually looks like. Even with my spiritual awakening and removing myself from the church, removing myself from Christianity, and developing a more personal relationship with God, the way that I view God when I talk about God or visualize God is still very parallel with Christianity. And that's part of the problem. I had to shift and see God more of an energy versus a person. And that God wants to ensure that you experience certain things in your life. God wants you to have these things, these experiences, these relationships, your desires. These are not things that you're sitting around waiting on the mercy of God to provide for you. God wants you to have them ASAP. When I was able to detach how I view God under the lens of Christianity, I then began to manifest a lot quicker. So I don't see God as a person. I don't see God as this, white being. And it's easy to say that you don't, but subconsciously when you're conditioned to see God in that way, it's easy to see God that way and not be aware that you're doing it. And that was something that I was having. That was the issue I was having. I refer to God as FP. FP. I don't sit in a space of hoping and wishing that the universe gives this to me because I'm worthy of it or because the timing is right or etc., but more from a place of it's my birthright. I appreciate it. And because I sit in that space, I then can detach from it because I'm like, I don't care, it's coming, whatever. Have a great day. Then it comes through very, very quickly. I think this is very important to walking, existing in the iconic version of yourself. When I look at people who are very happy, joyful, manifest, have a really abundant lives, this is something that they naturally do. They don't even think about it. I'm Latoya Cooper, your brand strategist, elevating women entrepreneurs into iconic powerhouses that drive big profits. Buckle up.